In this video, I'm going to show you what I eat in a day, a full day of eating, and my 6-week shred progress update. Hello fam, and welcome to my channel. My name's Melissa Neal and I am passionate about helping women over the age of 40 get into the best shape of their life. And if you like the sound of that, please do give this video the thumbs up and hit the subscribe button. And don't forget, you can find me on Instagram where you'll get more tips and tricks around diet and fitness. The video today is all about what I eat in a day, a full day of eating. So this is the first meal of the day, which is breakfast, and this is my favourite breakfast, which is protein pancakes. I have this virtually every day. So what I'm going to do first is going to crack the eggs in to this blender. So I'm using a NutriBullet, but you can use any type of blender. So I'm using 3 eggs, I think it's about 20 grams of oats. Then I'm going to put in a little bit of baking powder because that just makes them puff up really nicely. So it's like half a teaspoon of baking powder. A scoop of the protein powder, and then a little bit of either almond milk or soy milk. Just have a look. And now I'm just going to fry them in the frying pan. That's my delicious protein pancake. So it's now lunchtime. I'm going to be making chicken tikka breast with an avocado and black bean salsa and potato wedges. I'll link this recipe down below so you can see how to make it. I'm just taking an ordinary potato. I'm going to keep the skin on, and the way that my diet currently stands is I can have 300 grams of potato, but that's raw weight. So that's about 250, so that's fine. I'm just going to spray with some light oil there. I've got some chicken. Now I've marinated this overnight, and it's with a delicious coating, it's sort of an Indian style coating. So it's got yogurt, and yogurt's really good for you. It's chicken breast, and then the yogurt has got spices, so it's got cumin, coriander, ginger, garlic paste, and some turmeric. That's what the turmeric's giving it that yellow colour. So I'm going to put those in the oven, and they're going to sort of cook for about 20 to 30 minutes. Meanwhile, I'm going to make my black bean and avocado salsa. Rinse the black beans out, so I'm going to put those in a bowl. And black beans, they've got protein in and carbohydrate, so you just have to sort of watch out that you don't go too mad on that, because you've got your protein and your carbohydrate with the chicken and we've got potato as well. A fresh chilli in there, or probably half a fresh chilli. And chillis are absolutely fantastic for weight loss. There's been some sort of scientific evidence to show that it's really good for burning fat. I'm also going to put some spring onion in there. You can just use any type of onion, it doesn't need to be spring onion. The next thing I'm going to put in is half an avocado, and I'm just going to put a bit of lemon juice on there. You can put either lemon juice or lime juice on there, both are great. So this is spinach, and spinach is really good for you. Any green leafy vegetables are fantastic for weight loss. They're quite high in volume and they're really nutritious. Black beans are good for weight loss because they're high in protein, although they do have carbohydrates in them as well, and they're sort of very nutrient dense. And avocados, although they're fat, they're good fats, and they've been proven to help with weight loss. Avocado and black bean salsa with potato wedges, spinach and chicken marinated in yogurt and spices. I'm going to have this and then work out in about 30 minutes. Let's see what it's like then. So I'm back in the kitchen now, and I'm just making my evening meal, which is going to be, the main ingredient is going to be tofu, which is one of my favourites because it's a plant-based protein. It's on the list that I've put below, which is a list of 17 of the best diet foods, and I think this is a really, really good one. So I'm making a curry out of it today. So I've got an onion, I'm going to be using chickpeas, some spices, and then I've got green beans and cauliflower steaming in there. And cauliflower is another thing on my list of top 17 diet foods. This is just kind of a curry I've made up myself. I'm using light spray oil, so because we've got to be monitoring the fats at all times. Now this is coconut milk. I'm using the one that you get from the chilling department, but you can use the tin stuff, but it's full of fat. I think there is a reduced fat one, but this is very, very low in fat. Tofu's a soya bean curd. It's really, really healthy. Some of the vegan products I don't like because they're full of additives and they're just a processed food, whereas this isn't a highly processed food. And then I'm also, this is for extra protein because tofu doesn't have the same amount of protein as chicken. It's kind of less than half. So I'm going to add chickpeas, and that will also give me my carbs. I've just got some vegetables, as I've said, the cauliflower and the beans steaming here. So I'm going to take those off. I've just sort of pre-cooked them. I'll put those in now. Just going to add the coconut milk now. And that's quite thin, that coconut milk, compared to the tin stuff. It's quite thin. So I like to add a bit of sort of peanut powder. I'm going to add the chickpeas now. I mean, this is way too much for me on my own. This will probably do me sort of 3 or 4 meals. And then I'm going to add the tofu. And tofu is quite bland. I've just added some coriander. I'm going to go quite big on the crushed chili seeds now because I like it to be spicy. Turmeric, which will just give it that yellow colour that we love in curries, and some cumin. And what I'm doing, I'm not sort of grating my own ginger and crushing up my own garlic. I just like to use the paste. So that's ginger paste. And then we've got some garlic paste here. So I'm doing a 6-week shred, and I wanted to share that with you guys, my new fam. It's quite a bit of a challenge, isn't it, when we're in lockdown or quarantine, to actually motivate yourself to do anything. So I thought, what better time than do a 6-week shred? So it's now 6 weeks away from a photography shoot that I've booked. I want to lose a bit of body fat, so I'm checking in every week with you guys to see how I'm getting on. And this week what I'm doing is showing you how I keep on track with my diet, what I eat through the day, and next week I'll show you a bit about what I do in terms of my training. I'm going to put a link down below where you can download a meal plan so you can get an idea of the kind of meals that I eat every day, as well as watching this video. So I'd be really glad if you can kind of join me on this journey. The idea is I'm going to sort of shred for 6 weeks and hopefully reveal a really good physique. So my strategy for getting leaner is I'm on about an 1800 calorie diet at the moment. My protein is around 160 grams of protein, around 200 grams of carbs, and then I'm around 50 grams of fats. I have got quite a lot of cardio in though. So I get up in the morning and I do 25 minutes to 30 minutes of jump rope, and that's high intensity interval jump rope or skipping. Normally around lunchtime probably I'll do my strength training. So I'm still doing strength training even though I can only do that from home, and it's been quite successful. I'm quite happy with my progress. A lot of the exercise that I do is actually body weight exercises and things with lots of jumps and things in them. My other cardio, so I do another 30 minutes of cardio either at lunchtime after my strength training or later on in the day, and that's like a 30-minute light steady state jog. I've weighed in this week, and compared to last week I'm 53 kilos, which is about 118 pounds. So I'm exactly the same as I was last week, but I'm not at all worried about that. I have had a bit of a lack of sleep and a few things going on. I've been quite busy. I feel that my physique's looking pretty on point for where I am in the process. So because I've been through this before, I understand a bit about how it works. So it's best not to sort of panic about the scale weight. I'm a 25.5-inch waist and a 37-inch hip. So that hasn't really changed either from last week. And then I videoed myself, so you can see the video. Probably not looking at it in a week's time, you can't necessarily see a great deal of change, but really happy with where I am now. The point is that you have to trust the process. So if you don't see significant changes in the space of a week, that's sort of not really a problem. If it's 2 or 3 weeks, then it's more of a problem. But you've got to think of the overall picture, not just the scale weight. Have a look at your measurements, have a look at your pictures. If you feel happy with that, sometimes you can't tell, you have to have somebody else look at the pictures. So I know when I've looked back on the pictures from last year, when I was really lean in November, I actually didn't believe I was that lean, and it's only looking back on it now, I actually had tears in my eyes because I thought, my God, I was so lean, and if I'd seen a family member or a friend like that, I think I would have been quite worried. So at the time, I didn't see it myself. I just sort of saw the old me reflecting back on me. So sometimes it's good to get somebody else to look at it. And I've actually got a coach, and she looked at my pictures this week, and she's really, really happy with my progress. So what I'll do is I'll check in again next week, and we can kind of compare and look. And as the weeks progress on, we'll probably see much more of a difference between week one and say week 4, whereas week on week you don't necessarily always see a big change unless you see sort of a big weight drop or something like that. Okay, so I'm going to make some pre-workout snacks, which are kind of protein and oat bars. They're kind of a bit like flapjacks, really. So I'm going to weigh out some oats. I think I'm going to do 4 flapjacks, which are going to have 30 grams of oats each, so that'd be 120 grams of oats. Yeah, that's it. And then each of those 4 flapjacks will have a scoop of protein in. And then I'm going to use some cacao nibs. Now, I'm not using chocolate because chocolate's got sugar in, but these are like raw cocoa nibs. So they're a bit healthier, but they are quite bitter. So I'm just putting a tiny amount in. But I'm just going to put a few raisins in as well. I mean, you could put some dried fruit of your choice. And I'm going to just spray with some light oil to stop it sticking. Really nice with coconut milk. So I'm going to just have a cook's privilege now, just a little taste. Yep, they taste good even raw. Please do give this video the thumbs up, hit the subscribe button and the bell notification button if you want to see more videos like this, and check back in with me next week to see how I'm progressing.